So here are the ingredients that I'm going to use for the butternut squash raw soup. I've got a beautiful leek. I got all of this from the farmer's market, so it's all local, it's all fresh, it's organic, and of course it's all raw. Now this is fennel. Fennel, the tops of the fennel actually taste a lot like dill. So if you don't have dill and you've got fennel, you can use this for decoration. You can use it as a nice herb. I picked the last of my garlic from my garden, so I'm just going to use one little garlic bud. And this is actually the last tomato from my garden. I'm so excited. And from the farmer's market, the last tomato. So I'm going to just put one of these into the soup. And of course, butternut squash. Now what I did was I just peeled it. And I have two spices I'm going to add. One is nutmeg, and the other one is an herbed salt that I make. And then what is going to make this nice and creamy is that I have organic creamed coconut. These are whole coconut individual packages. So I'm going to use a portion of this, and depending on how creamy I want it, this is what I'm going to add for the, just to cream it up a little bit more. So setting all of these vegetables aside, it's pretty simple. All you're going to do is cut this up, and you can do it one of two ways. You can just go around like this and leave the seeds, and what I'm going to do is I will dehydrate these seeds. I'm going to add some spices to them, and they'll be so delicious. The other thing you can do is, if you don't want to dehydrate or you don't want to do anything with this, you can leave this out for the squirrels. They will absolutely love you for this, especially at this time of the year when it's getting cold and they don't have this food readily available. So I will check back with you when I am finished all of this. Okay, now that I have everything cut up, all you do is you take the butternut squash, and you might have to do this in two sections because you don't want to really overload the Vitamix, although the Vitamix is a pretty tough machine. So you put in your butternut squash, put in your tomato, your fennel, your leek, and your fennel tops. Add a little bit of salt, herb salt, a tiny bit of nutmeg, and as I mentioned before, this creamed coconut, I add about a heaping teaspoon of that, and some filtered water. And let's mix it. Bit of sweetness, I'm going to add 3 pitted dates. You can see I've already pitted them. So I just put that in the Vitamix. I like a little bit of a zest to it, so I've already taken the seeds out of this lemon. Just gonna put a little bit of lemon juice in here, not a lot. Okay, let's take a peek at what this looks like. Oh wow, this is so creamy. So nice. Let me take a little taste. It's so sweet because of the coconut and because of the 3 dates that I added. If you want this to be even more liquidy, just add some water. If you want it to be a little sweeter, add another date. Or if you want it a little bit more spicy, you can add some cumin, or you can add some cayenne pepper. You can experiment with raw food. That's the great thing about raw food. You can add as many or as little ingredients as you want. This is really healthy. It's kept all the nutrients and enzymes intact. You can just put this in a nice little bowl for yourself. Look at this creamy squash soup raw. It's amazing. And you know, you can top it with whatever you want. If you have, you know, a nice sprig, you can, you know, top it with this. If you want to put a little bit of a lemon rind on there, you can. You know, whatever you feel like decorating it with, go for it. And if you want to top it with a little bit of herbed salt. And the other thing that you could do is you could always add a little piece of a tomato. I mean, again, whatever you have in your kitchen, put little pieces in there. People won't even, they won't even care what you've put on there, just because, again, you eat with your eyes first. And there you go. Isn't that lovely? You've got a beautiful soup. Just make sure you tell people you have a lemon rind in there, not that they eat it. So let me taste it one more time. That is yummy.